The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "A rich man had a steward who was reported to him for squandering his property. He summoned him and said, 'What is this I hear about you? Prepare a full account of your stewardship, because you can no longer be my steward.' The steward said to him, 'What shall I do now that my master is taking the position of steward away from me? I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I know what I shall do, so that when I am removed from the stewardship, they may welcome me into their homes.' He called in his master's debtors one by one. To the first he said, 'How much do you owe my master?' He replied, 100 measures of olive oil. He said to him, 'Here is your promissory note. Sit down and quickly write one for 50. Then to another the steward said, 'And you, how much do you owe?' He replied, 100 cores of wheat. He said to him, 'Here is your promissory note. Write one for 80. The master commended that dishonest servant for acting prudently. But the children of this world are more prudent in dealing with their own generation than are the children of light. I tell you, make friends for yourselves with dishonest wealth, so that when it fails, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. The person who is trustworthy in very small matters is also trustworthy in great ones. The one who is dishonest in very small matters is also dishonest in great ones. If therefore you are not trustworthy with dishonest wealth, who will trust you with true wealth? If you are not trustworthy with what belongs to another, who will give you what is yours? No servant can serve two masters. He will either hate one and love the other, or be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and mammon." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord.
In 1992, the U.S. Council of Catholic Bishops formed a small committee of bishops to begin exploring ways in which to raise money for the church. Financial times were bad at the time, and the bishops wanted to see what kind of approaches the church might use to inspire people to contribute more to the upkeep of their parishes. And so they did. Bishops came together. They prayed before their meeting, began to discuss what their task was from the other bishops. What dawned on them pretty quickly is that they were not gathered to talk about raising money. They all felt inspired by the Holy Spirit to go another direction. Rather than talking about just raising money, they were inspired to begin discussing discipleship. What did it mean to be a disciple of Jesus Christ? And that led them to the idea of stewardship, that as children of God, we are stewards of all the gifts that God has given us. His gifts are given to us freely, and we are called to embrace them, use them, but share them with others. And so the bishops released a letter called Stewardship, a Disciple's Response. So rather than just focusing in on money raising, they looked at the whole part of what it means to be a disciple of Jesus Christ, using the time that the Lord gives us in His life. We have a limited amount. What skills we have or talents, how can we share that with God's people? And also, again, the financial resources that we may have, that once we receive them and use them for our own good, for the good of our family and accomplish our goals, how other ways can we use those resources to help others? So they focused in not just on treasure, but on also time and talent. In 2015, Archbishop Sample sent me and 3 other priests to New Orleans to a stewardship conference to explore this idea of implementing stewardship in the Archdiocese of Portland. So we went. Had a very inspired time for 3 days in New Orleans, and I met a bishop who had been a member of that original group in 1992 and had a chance to talk with him. He was a retired bishop of Monterey, California. But he said that the bishops were very impressed with how they could feel the Spirit guiding them to a new direction, in a new way of talking, in coming up with different than just money raising, but actually helping people and guiding them in being effective disciples of Jesus. So I returned from that trip, and I consulted with our parish leadership. This is 2015. And we all decided that we would declare this parish a stewardship parish and begin living in accordance with the bishop's letter, Stewardship, a Disciple's Response. So we did. What we did is we gave up money raising. We gave up the auction, we gave up raffles, we gave up selling and buying things in order to raise money for the church. All of that stopped. What we did instead is start talking with all of the members of the community in what we can do to listen to the guidance of the Spirit in our lives and our life as disciples. What is the Spirit saying to us? With our talents, how can we use them? How we can use our skills to help God's people? How can we use our time? Good use of time. It's very tempting to waste it. We just waste the time, just doing silly things. But we're called to use that time in a very productive way for God's people, and also the resources that we have, financial or otherwise, to also help God's people in their mission. And so this was an important change. That we would no longer do the buying and selling of the marketplace. Instead, we rely upon the Holy Spirit to guide each one of you as an active member of this parish, as an active member of disciples of Jesus. We are not called to be passive observers, but to be active and participate. And the Holy Spirit speaks to each one of us all the time. Every day the Spirit is communicating with you. Holy Spirit speaking with you, guiding you, giving you ideas, encouraging you, sort of giving a little nudge to help us get moving on a particular issue. But the Holy Spirit's constantly dealing with us. Holy Spirit is speaking to you right now as I speak to you. The Holy Spirit is helping you hear what I'm saying and begin to incorporate it into your life, or if you already have, continue to do that. What are ways that the Holy Spirit would call you to use your time to support God's people? That's maybe a new ministry that you can get involved with, something you've never done before, or to appreciate the fact that you're already doing it, and to offer that to the Lord. And also finances, it's up to you. It's not up to us to raise money, convince you to give to the Lord. So that's up to the Spirit. The Spirit will do that with each one of us in order to guide us in how we use everything we have and put some of it to the service of the Lord. In a few weeks, we will pass out discipleship cards. You don't have to hand them in. Ask you to take them home and fill them out. In this next year, how are you going to use your time, talent, and treasure in serving God's people? What's some specific ways? Maybe it's joining a ministry you've never done before. Maybe it's continuing what you're doing. Maybe increasing your time with it. To give, whatever you give, there's no goal. No one's trying to sell you something or convince you to give. It's up to the Holy Spirit to command you, to recommend, and to suggest and support you using what you have to support God's people. So we would do that in a few weeks. And so this change in the parish was actually very profound. We did it in consultation with the parish across the river, St. Joseph's, because Diocese of Seattle have been doing discipleship for years. And so they had done this a lot. So we met with them and talked with them, and they encouraged us to move forward. It can be a little scary. It's like learning to swim in the first time you move into the deep water. And so with this, we trust in the Lord, and we trust that the Lord guides us and supports us and encourages all of us to give of our time, talent, and treasures in order to advance the ministry of the Lord. It's been very successful. I've just been amazed in the last 10 years how well this parish has done as a stewardship parish, with no auctions, with no selling, with no buying. There's nobody outside to sell you something. Rather, we allow the Holy Spirit to manage this parish, to guide the people, and help them then participate in an active way as active disciples of Jesus Christ, so that then we can all participate in furthering the message of the gospel and to support the community in which we live.